From the very first piece of wood that we saw to the now finished harp with strings and all, how long has that taken?
Let's say 6 months for the more simpler ones, up to 1 year.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and that's for each harp.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's quite an achievement to have a finished harp.
Absolutely.
Soloists are not the only ones who are being stretched by the requirements of contemporary composers. Leading composers such as Pierre Boulez are always searching for new sounds and effects, which can prove to be very challenging for orchestral players as well.
You probably think that because it's contemporary music, if one note is not quite in tune, it might not be so important as in the Rossini.
Yes.
Forget it. You can play one note in contemporary music and the conductor will say, well, Boulez would say, the third F on the fourth semi-quiver or the fifth quiver is a little bit flat.
No way.
In the middle of the orchestra, and he can stop and just, that's it. He'll make you tune in front of everyone and just make it sure. It's perfect. It's very exacting and very nerve-wracking.
And what are some of the most obscure things that you've been asked to do?
Well, I have done Sprechgesang, which is singing into the back of the harp whilst playing,
Right.
which is hilarious, but it's very difficult because you've got here, you're supposed to be watching the conductor who's there, the music stands there, you've got a player in front of you, you're trying to sing and you're trying to play. And then there's one piece of Boulez, which I think you have there.
This one?
Le Soleil, which we played in Boulez's 80th birthday concert. And at the end of it, you'll see there's a trill. But
Yes.
the trill is right at the bottom down there.
Right.
So he says, it cannot be done? No, it cannot be done. And I said, yeah, I can do it. There is a way. Now, let's see. Just before it...
an arm extension.
Yes, well, just before it, there is this, which is pressing the hand on there and making this noise. But I have to bring this hand here to make that noise whilst counting and watching the beat. And that's after playing something here, which is harmonic. And then down here, there's... And whilst counting, solo trill, getting quieter and quieter at the bottom of the harp. And he said, that's very good. It's very good.
Yeah.
Yes, because it could be done.
Inspired by 20th century avant-garde composers such as John Cage with his use of a prepared piano, Rhodri Davies is pushing the boundaries even further by creating and discovering new sounds on his specially adapted harp.
So, Rhodri, can you try and explain a little bit of what's happening here?
Yeah, it's basically a traditional harp made by John Thomas, and it was his son actually, Alan Thomas.
Yeah.
And it's amplified, and it goes through a mixing desk down here.
Yeah.
And various effect pedals. I've also pre-recorded some of the harp sounds, and I play those back whilst I improvise.
Yeah.
Also, all these preparations.
Yeah, what are all the bits and bobs we've got?
They just change the sound, so you get different qualities.
What are they? These are like little peg things.
Those are little crocodile clips.
Yeah.
And then you have these things which make a more rhythmic sound. These are electronic bows, E-bows, which usually have on electric guitars.
Right.
And they produce a magnetic wave,
Wow.
which makes a sound like that.
Yeah. Okay, so Rodri, can we do a little duet?
Of course. You play the strings,
Right.
and then I'll play the electronics.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens.
All right.
We'll call it on a Thursday afternoon.
Beautiful.
Cool.
Fantastic.
So where next? An electronic invention to replace the complicated pedal mechanism, perhaps? Or possibly, as contemporary music evolves, a return to the older, more simple forms of the harp. This journey has revealed an instrument that has constantly evolved and adapted as a reaction to changing musical requirements. Who knows where its future lies?